river to the sea. Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Say it with me. Send Netanyahu to the ICC. Send Netanyahu to the ICC. Send Netanyahu to the ICC. Send Joe Biden to the ICC.
Send Joe Biden to the ICC.
Send Joe Biden to the ICC.
Send Joe Biden to the ICC.
Send Trudeau 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 to the ICC.
Oh yeah, that's much better. That's much better. All right, is everyone in here? Is it over yet? Are they still coming? Are they still coming back there? This march was incredibly long. This has got to be one of the biggest demonstrations I've ever seen in Calgary. To the people who are over by the street there, if you want to come and join us, please do come back. We haven't arranged for any roads to be closed or anything like that with the police, so, take care of yourselves wherever you're going. All right, so like I said, lineups over here for the open microphone. I know a lot of people, people are still streaming in. This is amazing. You guys are amazing. This city is amazing. Who says this is a conservative, racist city? I mean, okay, I say that too, but you guys are awesome. This is an enormous demonstration. We should all be extremely proud. I'm not even going to try to estimate the numbers here. Right, for the people who have just arrived, the open mic is starting. Make your way over to the direction I'm pointing, over on my right, if you want to get in line for the open microphone. All right, without further ado, let's have it. Oh, and I'm going to especially ask, before that, sorry, one more thing. Any events that are being organized in the next week or two that people need to announce? I know that lots of organizations are springing up and organizing things. I heard there's something at the university. Is there a speaking event at the university in the next week or two? Somebody have information about that? All right, well, if anyone's got events they have to announce, come up here and announce them. It's today. Tonight. Hey, tonight at Mount Royal, what time? 5 o'clock, Mount Royal University tonight. Speaking event for Palestine, so be there if you can. And if anyone has any events they're organizing throughout the week, we need people to be taking on the responsibility of doing their own events. We're doing what we can as JFP, but we're all a part of this movement. You organize events, you put them up, and we'll support you and we'll share it. You just need to start organizing it, and we're behind you 100% of the way. All right, no further ado. Who's first in line here? All right, come on, Riazuddin. Come here. Welcome, Riazuddin, everybody. Tell us who you are, tell us your organization, and tell us what you want to say.
Assalamu alaikum and shalom to our friends. My name is Riazuddin Ahmed. I'm a former member of a cross-cultural roundtable, federal roundtable on national security. And I'm also the founding member of Canadians for Peace and Justice here in Calgary. I'm also a founding member of the Council of Muslim Organizations in Calgary. I'm here to talk about the puppet master, not the puppet. We know who the puppet is. So let me begin by giving you some statistics. Since 1951 to 2022, Israel has received $225.2 billion in US military aid. This is according to the US Congressional Research Service. This does not include an extra $10 billion for its Iron Dome anti-missile defense system since its inception. Since October 8, 2023, attack on Gaza, US government has asked Congress to approve another $14 billion for military aid to Israel. Moreover, to protect Israel from the attacks by any other party in the region, US government has moved a naval armada of 32 ships consisting of 2 aircraft carriers and supporting warships to the eastern Mediterranean off the coast of Lebanon. The U.S. has also assured that it will oppose any attempts by the international community to impose a ceasefire in Gaza until Israel succeeds in its promise to destroy Hamas and inflict another Nakba catastrophe on the Palestinian people in Gaza. Such total support for Israel by the U.S. administration of President Biden proves without any doubt that Israel is an American military satellite in the heart of the Arab Middle East. The purpose of establishing and supporting this military satellite state is to protect geopolitical hegemony in the region, U.S. hegemony in the region, through its client Israeli military to protect U.S. neo-imperial interests. In reality, it is not Israel that is occupying and killing Palestinian children, women, and old men in the occupied West Bank and Gaza. It is America that is occupying Palestine and killing them through its client Israeli army. It is the U.S. freely giving F-35 fighters planes to Israel that are dropping U.S. bombs on U.S.-occupied Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank to kill babies, children, women, and elderly people. Shame on America. It is freely giving U.S.-made tanks and artillery with U.S.-made shells that is destroying occupied Palestinian hospitals, schools, churches, mosques, and homes, and killing babies, children, women, and elderly. Shame on America. It is U.S.-made, freely supplied drones that are being used by its client Israeli military to bomb Palestinians everywhere in the occupied Palestinian territories. Unarmed, innocent Palestinian children, women, and elderly are running helter-skelter within the open concentration camp called Gaza, where, according to the UN humanitarian agencies, there are no safe place in Gaza. Shame on America. Shame! Why is it that US, UK, Canadian government that claims to be democratic, governments of the people, for the people, and by the people, are not listening to the 64% in the US, 76% in UK, and 71% people in Canada who are calling for an immediate ceasefire in the killing fields of Gaza. Shame on these governments. Shame! Because governance by the people, for the people, and by the people is a mirage. Democracy ends here as soon as the people have cast their votes. Those elected by the people then begin to govern for the powerful lobbies, and the most powerful lobbies are of the merchants of war, who I call the dogs of war. The dogs of war are an amodal bunch. They worship at the altar of profit. They don't care who's fighting who or who's dying in their whose wars. Babies are dying, children are dying, women are dying, elderly people are dying. They don't care as long as they make money. They don't care. Moreover, they need new battlefields to test their weapons, be it occupied Palestine or Ukraine. They want to test their weapons. Shame on these dogs of war. Just Google military-industrial relations to politicians in the US and you will get a clear picture of what I'm saying. Peace is an anathema to these dogs of war and to the politicians they bribe. And here's another irony, and a very sad one too. These dogs of war and their political allies are waging a war by using one group of Semitic people, the Jews, against a fellow Semitic people, the Palestinian Arabs. Shame on them. Shame. Shame. They are using Semitics to kill Semitics. Shame on them.
Shame.
Can there be a greater anti-Semitism and racism than the 75-year-old Jewish-Arab conflict perpetuated by us in the West just to secure U.S. geopolitical interests in the Middle East? And what are those interests? Of course, oil, protection of the U.S. dollar by all oil sales in U.S. dollars. If people don't sell oil in dollars, the dollar value goes down, the American economy collapses. That is one of their interests in the Middle East, to make sure that the autocrats sell their oil in dollars and not in any other currency. And the third interest is protection. The Arab autocrats, just 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. Protection of the Arab autocrats, because it is easier to control an autocrat than a people's government. So their interest is to make sure the Middle East never becomes a democratic region. They want autocrats there so they can control them. Protection, moreover, what we are supporting in this conflict is breeding very long memories among the Arab population in the Middle East of atrocities being suffered by the Palestinians at the hands of the U.S. client Israeli army. A small Jewish population of few million people placed among the hundreds of millions of Arabs who one day will be free of their autocrats and with long memories of present atrocities may seek revenge in the future. And our dogs of war will be willing to supply their instruments of death and destruction to both sides in such a potential future war. Shame on them. Shame! Just 1 minute more. Think for a moment what we are doing right now does not bode well for Israeli Jews in the future. I wonder if our anti-Semitic embedded among the Western dogs of war have this as their final solution. This is the highest level of anti-Semitism, racism. Shame on them. Shame on America. Shame on the veterans of war. So we, the people of conscience, who stand for universal peace and justice for all people, should raise the following slogans. Biden, Blinken, ceasefire now. Biden, Blinken, ceasefire now.
Biden, Blinken, ceasefire now. Ceasefire now.
Biden, Blinken, free Palestine now. Biden, Blinken, free Palestine now. 1, 2, 3, freedom for Palestine from the river to the sea. Peace now for the two-state solution. Peace now for the two-state solution. Thank you very much.
I'm with Socialist Fight Back here in Canada, Marxist.ca. I thought I had a lot more time, so I'm going to try to be quick. There's no need to summarize the crimes of Israeli barbarism this month. We've all seen the brutal bombing of Gaza City, 12,000 Palestinians killed, civilian infrastructure targeted. I don't need to tell you guys this. We've seen our own politicians cry crocodile tears for the dead in Ukraine, calling Putin a war criminal, comparing him to Hitler, but the IDF has killed more people in Gaza in 1 month than Ukrainian civilians killed in 24 months since the Ukraine war broke out last year. A crime was committed against the Palestinian people in 1948, and the only way that the Israeli state could be established was by expelling a whole people from their homeland. Let's take a moment to remember that the Palestinians living in the West Bank are also seeing growing attacks from Israeli soldiers and settlers. This started way before October 7th, but it has been ramped up recently. And what we can see here with these horrific attacks against the West Bank is that this attack against the Palestinians has nothing to do with Hamas. There's been a slow motion ethnic cleansing happening in Palestine for decades. And what we're seeing now is the Israeli state, with weapons sold and gifted by the Canadian government, persecuting Palestinians. Shame! Shame! The plan of the Zionists has never been a two-state solution. They counted on the military occupation after the Six-Day War to keep Palestinians second-class citizens in their own country under a military regime while Israeli citizens are applied civil law. They used the remaining population for cheap labor and kicked the rest out through ridiculous and unjust laws, just like apartheid South Africa. The Oslo Accords placed the majority of agricultural land, water, and mineral resources under the Jewish minority government of Israel. Around 40% of West Bank land is now controlled by settlements, and as we have seen many times in the past, this war has been seized upon by Israel as an opportunity to expel more Palestinians from their land. Shame! Shame! All the major parties in Canada are complicit in this genocide. They have been for decades, and they have offered military and diplomatic support to all of these actions, including the cruel blockade of Gaza. We all saw Justin Trudeau stumbling over his words, almost saying ceasefire, but instead calling for a humanitarian pause. What is that? Humanitarian pause means let's let people get bombed, let's sew them back up, and then let's keep them getting bombed. This is a living nightmare. Shame! Shame! Millions of people like us all around the world have come out on the streets for Gaza. And at the same time, the media and our politicians have been lying about us. CBC, Globe and Mail, National Post, they call us hate marchers. Justin Trudeau calls protesters anti-Semitic for comparing the Gazan genocide to the Holocaust. Agreed. But wasn't Justin Trudeau the one clapping for a Nazi soldier in Parliament just a month ago? They are the ones. Shame! Shame! They are the ones acting in support of hatred. And the media is the one suppressing the truth. They publish articles and editorials defending the crimes, but they cover over all reasonable and balanced context. I'm going to wrap up, guys. I'm going to wrap up. So, we are communists. Our name is Socialist Fight Back. We call on the wider working class, beginning with the organized layers, to show solidarity with workers doing civil disobedience, stopping IDF weapons from leaving port. Absolutely, 100% we support that. We need to take inspiration from their initiative. We need to organize assemblies to discuss the oppression of Palestine. We need to release manifestos. We need to organize demonstrations like we did today, and blockades, pickets of companies with interest in Israel. Finally, we need to demand that our government cut ties and embargo arms shipments to Israel. End the occupation for a workers' boycott of the war in Israel. Down with Canadian, US, Israeli, and European imperialism. Intifada until victory.
Free Palestine!
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 All right. We got the youth leading us today. All right.
A Palestinian, Lebanese, Canadian, and I'm a proud Muslim, but above all, the one thing I have in common with everyone here is I'm a human being. You don't have to be of a certain ethnic group, you don't have to be of a certain religion to support the Palestinian people. They were outraged. They were outraged when they so-called announced beheaded babies, raped women, all false claims that were lies. What about the outrage for over 5,000 dead children? What about the outrage for over 11,000 murdered Palestinians? Where's the outrage? Where? We stand in a country that claims they stand for peace. I beg to differ. When our Prime Minister cannot even utter the word ceasefire. We will stand here day after day, weekend after weekend, to stand up for the Palestinian people. Because our message is not about anti-Semitism. It is not about Jewish hate, but it is about the liberation, the freedom, and the human rights for the Palestinian people. Inshallah, we're going to pray Maghrib when it's Maghrib time. Whoever wants Maghrib, we're going to pray Maghrib over there. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you!
Thank you.
Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
End the occupation now!
End the occupation now!
End the occupation now!
End the occupation now!
Hands off Gaza!
Hands off Gaza!
Hands off Gaza!
Hands off Gaza!
Great job, guys. Lara Dwan. I am a Palestinian from Gaza. I actually flew here from Vancouver, so I am not from Calgary. Excited to see everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. There is a group of us hopping around from city to city, actually. I want you guys to know that there is a national protest where thousands of people are going all the way to Ottawa, to Parliament Hill on Saturday. People are flying around from different cities so they can be there. I encourage you guys, if you have the means, to make it there on Saturday. Some of you guys know me from social media. I've recognized some of you guys. I go by Kinda Halal on Instagram. I've been a social activist for the past 6 years for Palestine and other countries who need it. There are a lot of people who need voices, and if you guys are looking to donate to Gaza directly, we have an organization, Muslims around the world, through Kinda Halal. If you want to donate directly to Gaza, please contact me. Just talk to me afterwards. So, because I'm from Gaza, it's obviously been a difficult time. My mom's side has lost over 47 people, Allah yarhamhum. My dad's side, I don't even know how many. My family name has been cut in half. My family name is going extinct. This is the definition of ethnic cleansing. Shame. I can speak for Vancouver when I say we've been doing a very good job. Just so we can exchange some information, we've been having 2 to 3 protests per week, and thousands are coming out. We started off as a very small protest, and every week people are educating themselves and they're coming, and the protests are getting bigger. So please educate your friends. Your presence is very, very important. But today, I want to talk about Calgary. First and foremost, I want you guys to give yourself a round of applause for you guys coming out, for the work and activism that you have been doing here in Alberta. Great job, guys. I also want to thank the organizers. There are so many organizers who are putting their personal lives aside so they can be here and organize and strategize. And some of them are not even Palestinian. Can you please give a round of applause to people who are organizing? Thank you guys very much. I want to encourage the youth to get involved. Every single one of you guys is a leader. I need you guys to be part of youth movements. I want you guys to connect. Ask if you want to volunteer. We need to be connected. And I know that word on the street is that some people in Calgary have not been coming out because there's some reluctance because of incidents like the arrests that are happening. Shame. They call us violent. But you know what's violent? Colonization is violent.
Yes!
Occupation is violent.
Yes!
Israel's existence was brought upon by violence.
Yes!
My grandparents lived through this violence. My great-grandfather was killed because of this violence. Shame.
Shame!
It is a human right to defend ourselves. It is a human right to resist. Say it with me. Palestine has the right to resist.
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 It is a human right to defend ourselves. You are standing for international law. Do not let USA, Canada, or anyone tell you otherwise. Great job, guys. Give yourself a round of applause.
To know that if this genocide were to occur in our country, the whole world would not allow for even a day of its occurrence, let alone the 43 days. And yes, today marks the 43rd day of these injustice. Words cannot even describe. It goes beyond evil and unjust. What has become of the world? Where are the hearts of the human race? 8 billion people. The majority are heartless robots that are enslaved to a narrative for a fairy tale that justifies this? What has become of the world? It makes me feel better knowing that the best dua we can make is that our beloved Palestinians, may they inshallah enter the highest level of heaven. It's very important to know as well is that God says He does not burden a believer more than what he can bear. Meaning that although this is unjust and evil and so wrong, that they can still endure it. What's very important to know is yes, their pain, their suffering, their cries are inflicted upon us, but so too are their tests. This is a test for us to be awake, that life is serious. It is not a Nintendo game. We need to, we must, we ought to change our desires. We have to question our insignificant problems. What he said and what she said and how he said and what she said, these are irrelevant. And most importantly, we must strengthen our iman, our faith with God. For a believer. Okay, time is up. Who wants to make the adhan? Anybody would like to come?